The significance of Biddeford's historic buildings is undeniable, from our mighty mill buildings to the proud buildings on Main Street. Preservation of historic buildings is one way to link the past to the future. It helps tell the story of how people lived and worked here in Biddeford decades or even centuries ago. Preservation of historic buildings adds economic value to our community. Nicely maintained old buildings hold their value better than unkempt buildings. People are drawn to the architectural character that old buildings provide, especially in a well-kept historic downtown. And small business is much more likely to thrive in older buildings. Biddeford is fortunate to have such a historic downtown. It is a valuable asset and must be maintained properly. The City of Biddeford has a 7-member Historic Preservation Commission that meets monthly to review projects that include exterior alterations to buildings in the downtown area, using the Department of the Interior's Standards for Rehabilitation Guidelines for Rehabilitating Historic Buildings. The Commission works to protect the architectural heritage of our city while accepting compatible construction that is needed for the city to grow. As a part of their efforts, the Historic Preservation Commission is about to embark on a project to document our historic buildings in the greater downtown area. This project is called an architectural survey and will be conducted by a consultant the city hired through a competitive bid process this past summer. Throughout the fall, the consultant team will be working in our neighborhoods, photographing each building, structure, or object, a statue, for example, and documenting its age, construction details, and architectural style. You will probably notice these folks walking through your neighborhood in the coming weeks. It's important to remember that this survey will not affect property taxes or your privacy in any way and will not venture onto private property. Look for signs posted around your neighborhood soon to indicate that the work is underway. Biddeford is fortunate to have a rich assortment of historic buildings, and this survey will record the wide range of buildings that our history reflects, dating from the 1700s through the early 1970s. The survey will create a record and narrative that will be used by the Historic Preservation Commission to help protect historic resources in Biddeford. It's simply a way to create a record of our built environment so that we can understand historical trends in building design and construction methods. Preserving these assets and resources is an important part of Biddeford's continued prosperity. It is good for the community, and documenting those resources through a survey is the first step toward lasting civic value. The project will begin on or about November 1st and is expected to be completed by September 30th, 2023. The Biddeford Architectural Survey is supported in part by a grant administered by the National Park Service, Department of the Interior, and the Maine Historic Preservation Commission.